Alright, this is going to be the last part. So, I did realise that I should probably put these up, mostly because I don't want anyone to get up there and stand on them. But I'm also going to show you one more thing. How to respawn players. Because this is kind of an expected feature now. You don't have to, but a lot of players will probably like your map more if it does. I tend to just call it respawner. And now what you're going to want to do is on your trigger trigger once at the end, you're going to want to do something first. Let's put the delay down. Before you respawn everyone, you're going to want to, you know, the anti-late spawn thing, the brush, you're going to want to kill that. Wait, what? Hang on, that's the wrong one. Yeah, you're going to want to kill your anti-late spawn trigger hurt before you respawn players. Otherwise, when they respawn, they will all die. And on the respawner, there is something else we should do, actually. We should also kill the motivator. Did we give it a name? Yeah, no, we didn't, but that's because it doesn't really... You don't really need to do this unless you're respawning players. Let's call this motivator hurts. I mean, you could also do kill hierarchy. Just make sure you don't have any info observer points attached to it. But I'm gonna do it like this just to make it clear. Wait, I already copied that. Motivator hurts. Motivator hurt. Kill. So that's gonna kill all that. We don't want to kill the respawner. Yes, because I just copied a bunch. What we want to do is force team respawn. Force team respawn 2. Don't respawn both, because that could cause problems if someone's trying to like spawn on blue. Just, you only want to respawn the red team, and you want to do it, I tend to do it 0.02 seconds after, just to make sure all these have been killed before they respawn. And so what this is going to do is anyone who's dead is going to respawn, and I'll show you that it works quickly. The camera, see how it went on that one.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What I'm gonna do?
Control point enabled.
I'm gonna go and put a...
Run, cowards!
I've got a leak, so I've got to go and check that as well. But I'll show you that the respawn thing is working. So I'll go in here. Oh look, hello engineer. Look, he's respawned. Let me go and find out what's causing that leak. Strange, I didn't have one before. Okay, well, I'm just going to... I'm just going to make this go the whole width. Sometimes it just seems to have problems like that. Don't run the game. Yeah, no point far now, so that's fixed it. So now that I've run it, I'm gonna go in game. But I tend to launch the game properly before building cube maps. The reason you kill the late spawn, the anti-late spawn, instead of disabling it, is because if you disable it, or like the motivator trigger hurt, if you disable it, you know what happens if you disable it before the other output has reached has passed its delay. It could re-enable, you know, just after you disable it, and everyone's respawn. Kill it. That can happen. That has happened sometimes. Now the reason you gotta launch it to at least first, before building cube maps, you gotta do map spec 0, and you gotta do map spec level 0. We don't actually have to build for HDR because I haven't compiled it for HDR. And that is something I might do. That's not strictly necessary for a map like this. So I'm gonna go in and if you're just doing it without HDR, what you're gonna do, go in, do those commands, so no leak now. Sometimes source can be funny like that. So build cube maps, there's my cube maps. Okay, and that's done for HDR. However, I will show you how to compile it for HDR if you're interested. But remember, it doesn't really matter for a map like this. You know, you're hardly gonna get it. You're hardly gonna make it look that much nicer. But if you want to know, you get a tone map controller. And what I would do is, in fact, I'm gonna do it here because I'm gonna reuse this logic auto over here, tone map, and I'm just gonna call it tone map controller. Now on your logic auto here, I'm gonna do it on map spawn, tone map controller, max 7. Now it really depends on the type of map you've got, but some maps you might, well, that's probably a bit too much. Or I'll do min 0.8. We'll see how it goes. And you want to get the bloom scale, set bloom scale. You don't want that to be very bright at all. Why have I put them in the delay part? And we don't want to do that. We want to put them in the parameters box. 0.8. Yeah, I thought they were looking strange. Right, 0.1. those are good starting values, and you can change it from there. You know, it really depends on the map how bright you've got everything. But you need that, because otherwise, if you compile it with HDR without those set, then it will look way too bright. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go on Expert. I'm going to go on Full Compile, and I'm just going to do that Full Compile. There are some extra advanced lighting commands you can add, but that's really not going to do anything on this kind of map. But I'll still compile it in HDR and do a final compile. What that does is it just spends extra time casting light rays, so it can improve the lighting a little bit. As I said, it doesn't really matter on a map like this. I think we are. No, that looks fine. Physics penetration error. I see I must have made that a bit too low there. I see. That's new. I will adjust that. Yeah, everything else seems to be alright. That's because I wasn't... that launches it in debug mode by default, which can show you things that you can't always see. And surely that will be alright. I think I just had it a little bit too low there. Let's do that again. I might actually make the packing part I might make that actually I might have to make another part for that. Because this video's gone on a bit longer than I was hoping. Yeah, we haven't got that error now. Can you see it's now a bit darker up there? That's because it's done it in as a final compile. See, sometimes when you compile it using sort of HDR and doing it as final, like sometimes it's a bit too much. Although it does sort of look nice there, doesn't it? See, those lights are a bit too bright. Actually, that might be because is that because I've got matte specular on or off? No, I think I need to. No, I think it's because I've got the lights maybe a bit too close. See, when matte specular's on, it's like trying to reflect the light. Trying to... This really should have an HDR version. Okay, well, I'm not going to bother I'm not going to bother compiling in HDR because it's not really it's not really worth it for this. But actually, no. I'll tell you what it's yeah. Okay, let's quit. I think it's like I'm trying to, I'm trying to make it fancier than it needs to be. But I just thought I'd show you. That's kind of the basics. Yeah. See, I should really move that slightly away. I'm just going to compile it normally. Right, let's go in and build those cube maps. So if you're going to make a map with HDR, although it can make the lighting look nicer, you've really got to be taking that into account as you're making. Okay. Build those cube maps. Disconnect. Then I'm going to do map specular 1. And I'm just going to check that it's been done properly. I'm going to do do SV cheats map D on example. Because if you do SV cheats 1, it's going to do reload all materials. I mean, these have a shader anyway, but for anyone who doesn't have like reflect all, it's sort of it's still necessary to have the cube maps there. I think I know what was causing those to be white, actually. I think maybe I because there was that error, wasn't there? I think I should have. It's because I hadn't compiled the HDR cube maps as well. I'm gonna try one more thing, okay? Sorry that I'm going over this again. But I've got to solve this now. Tone map controller. Yeah, so I know what it is. I know what it is now. Oh yeah. Let's try that again. Compile in final, but I am going to let's just do it. You can turn off launching the game. Doesn't really matter. I could also put more cube maps in the activator side to stop the issue where it's like reflecting the main area on his side. Let me just test this before I do. I'm gonna relaunch Team Fortress 2. Alright, let's do something. Map specular 0, HDR level 0, map DR example. Right, build cube maps. Now, let's go back on it. Models still use they still use cube maps, so I think I know what the issue is, because I hadn't actually built the cube maps for HDR. It was just showing all white. Now if I do map specular 1, then go on there, should be fine. See what I mean? It's kind of reflecting the wrong side, so I will need to add cube maps in there. Right, see that's fine now. That's fine. To be honest, taking another look at it, it's alright actually, because you don't want to really be seeing too much. This is more accurate. Yeah. Okay. And I will just sort out those cube maps. Although, can you see how the exposure is changing? I don't want it to do that too much, so I might. If we're in here, we go here, we go in here. Suppose it's all right. See how it sort of changes the light. All right. Yep, that's fine now. As far as the issue with okay, let's just do this. What I tend to do here, by the way, is, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select that, because otherwise it might it always goes for the nearest face, so I don't want that to that is technically closer. But around here it doesn't matter, because they are, well, the glass is only on one side. It's best to put it in the center, although it's not a huge deal. I'm gonna do it anyway. That's gonna be here. Check out what's going on here. Where's hang on. Right. Put that there. And then another one in here somewhere. Ah, yes. We'll put it there. I suppose I should really have one there as well. In fact, I'm going to bring that back, then copy it again. All right. Let's run that. So one more look before I go on to the next video. I will actually put a few more cube maps in 9 square. You know, on Hale's side. So I didn't have to copy that, but I thought, why not? I mean, really, that one in the middle isn't actually necessary. I want this to look alright though, so I'm gonna have that one. I'm gonna leave that one in there. And have that one there. One there. Then I'm gonna have like one there. And one there. See, I don't actually need this one here. Well, I might put it down. Well, okay, it doesn't hurt to leave it there. You can see how this will work. Alright, I'm going to come back in the next video and That's when we're gonna do our final building cube maps and then packing.